Hello and welcome. This is take two of today's broadcast. If you're watching on YouTube, thank you very much. I had problems with Facebook earlier, so we're just going live to YouTube and Amazon Live. I'm waiting for the signal to go through to OneStream. The signal is going through to OneStream, so I can go live on Amazon Live. I'm waiting for the Amazon Live signal from OneStream. This is exciting. Waiting for the Amazon Live signal from OneStream. And it's there. So I pressed the preview button on my iPad and hopefully it says I can now go live. Okay, so I'm going to rush back to the studio with 19 seconds to go. And we're now live on Amazon Live, and we're live at 6:05, and that's what I said we'd be live at. Okay, so we just wait for the countdown clock to finish and people to find us. I'll take that off. Hello, this is Stephen, and I know that it's getting dark in the UK and I need some lighting. So I'll get some lighting in a moment. But what I want to say is at the top of the broadcast, welcome to the broadcast. And this is Lights, Camera, Action with Stephen, and I am broadcasting live from Wiltshire, England. And thank you for watching me on Amazon Live and on YouTube and wherever else. So thank you. I do appreciate it. And this is a new time for me because normally I go out at 11 a.m. Eastern, but today we are live at 1 p.m. Eastern because it's 6 p.m. in the UK, and well, all's well. So once we get underway, I just want to take you through a few of the items we're going to be looking at today. Now, I do need lighting, so one of the first things we're going to be looking at today is the Logitech Lytra light, which is featured down in the carousel. Welcome on Amazon Live. Thank you for watching live. This is a new time. I'll explain everything in a minute. So I was watching Marco Novo interviewing Daniel Zigman of Logitech, and Daniel demonstrated this wonderful Logitech Lytra light, and we're going to take a look at that in a moment. So that's the first item on today's show. The second item on today's show is bottom right, and that is this. And I'm going to be talking about XSplit VCam and the Logitech C920x camera, the C920, the first camera I ever bought, webcam, and we're going to be talking about that. I'm going to be talking about background removal software, XSplit VCam. The next thing that we're going to be talking about, or everything we're going to talk about is here, webcams, audio gear, microphones, live video, Fitbits, that's the action part of Lights, Camera, Action. And I'm broadcasting to you from BeLive, be.live. It's my favorite. I've been broadcasting on BeLive since October 15, 2016, and I work for BeLive. And this is my show. And then because I'm on BeLive, I can have two cameras. And this is my second camera. This is the OBSBot Tiny, and you can see my desktop. And I'm going to light that in a minute so you can see it a bit more clearly. But for the moment, on purpose, it's being lit, compensating light from the OBSBot Tiny, and it's working well. It can actually see better than I can at the moment. So we'll be looking at everything's on desktop, TP-Link Deco, Wi-Fi, Echo Dot, TrebLab X3 Pro earbuds, aftershocks, my mug from BeLive, and of course, I couldn't do a show without showing something from Anchor. So look forward to Anchor later, and of course, we'll be talking about the Pell microphones. So all these items are down in the carousel. If you want to browse, please do. You can just scoot along the bottom and you can check everything out before I actually start talking about it. Okay, and back to me. Okay, now the thing is that I'm normally broadcast, as I say, 11 a.m. Eastern, and now I'm broadcasting at 1 p.m. Eastern. So you've never met me before. So what I'm going to do is I live Just before we get underway, this is a bit of background because I actually live, as you can probably tell from the accent, I live in England. Okay, I'm on 4 English broadcasters on Amazon Live, the others being my friend Nick Wood, Grant Saunders, and there's another one. Okay, right. But I live in Devizes, and this is Devizes. Okay, we're very fortunate that we live in Devizes in Wiltshire, about 97 miles from London, and we're in the heart of the countryside. It's farming country, and let's just take a quick tour around Devizes. So we've got our own castle. I'm looking for a photograph of that, but we are close to Stonehenge. We managed to get there 3 or 4 times a year, and it's a very special place to visit. And if you are visiting the UK, then you should put Stonehenge down on your bucket list of places to visit. You can get a coach from London that will take you straight to Stonehenge, and then on to Salisbury, and then back to London. So you can do a coach tour of Wiltshire and see lots of wonderful things along the way. This definitely is Devizes. This is our local park, one of our parks, Hillworth Park, and you can see our parks department do a beautiful job of all the floral displays. This park has 2 tennis courts and also 3 children's playgrounds. This is our main shopping street. This is the shopping street. This is called the Britox, and it's in Devizes. And I caught it early in the morning when nobody was about. Normally, it's teeming with people. Okay, this is an alleyway at the eastern end of town, and top right-hand corner, you can see the town hall, the cream-coloured building. The buildings directly in front of us are, in fact, all private residences, and they've had various uses down over the years. They're all preserved buildings, and it's a great one. It's a great photograph. You're actually watching my favorite photographs. So I took all these images I took with my mobile phone, which is down the carousel. This is St. John's Church. St. John's Church is a working church from the 11th, 12th century. It's been rebuilt, but essentially it is, well, it was probably around the time of King Stephen that it was actually built. I'll check that and come back to you. Okay, this is 5 minutes around the corner from me, and this is the Crammer. And the Crammer is a man-made pond, and as you can see, it's visited by wildfowl. And I'm grateful to Google Photos for actually stitching 3 photos together. I'm nearly finished. Coming up the home straight, this is the town centre. We have a royal charter granted by the King for markets, and over to the Courts Garden, and here we've got beautiful flowers. This is one of the best photographs I've ever taken, and it's of the Courts Garden in Wiltshire. And we do get snow occasionally. Today, outside today, it is in fact 69 degrees Fahrenheit, and it's raining at the moment, which is why I'm inside. We do have a town parade where bands come from all over Devizes to actually take part in the parade. And then this is my favorite photograph of the weekend. Angelica and I go out and about visiting different properties over the weekend. This photograph was only taken last Sunday. And this is the Courts Garden again. You've seen one photograph from the Courts Garden. This is the second one. This is currently my profile photo on Facebook, and currently, therefore, my favorite. So we're back to the beginning. Let's switch that off and come back to me. So I'm broadcasting from Be Live. You've just been taking a cook's tour around Devizes, and I'm broadcasting using Be Live and OneStream. So let me take that off screen, which means everything's settled down. So I'm going to be talking about Logitech Lytra Lite in a moment, so we can hide that. I'm going to be talking about lights, camera, action, so we can hide that. I'm going to be talking about, well, XSplit VCam and Logitech C920x. And I'm going to switch my second camera off because I've got 2 cameras working today. And I'm going to switch the images off. And that just leaves me. Okay, I'm Stephen Healey. I'm based in Wiltshire in England, and I am your guide. And basically everything in Carousel, over 75% of it I own. If you've got any questions about anything in the Carousel, then please do ask. Okay, I'm here to help. Everybody who broadcasts on Amazon Live is in fact an independent broadcaster. We do not work for Amazon. We can review products honestly, and we'll tell you the benefits and the pitfalls. And if you've got any questions about live broadcasting, then please ask. Okay. If you enjoy the broadcast, please follow me. Okay. If you do follow any broadcaster, then there's a following tab up above, and you're building your own Amazon Live TV station, because anytime after you follow somebody, you can come back and you can either watch them live by pressing the following button at the top, or you can watch their latest show. So gather all your favorites together, build your own TV channel, and pretty close to being a 24/7 thing. So Amazon Live is pretty close to being 24/7. And you'll find broadcasters from every state in the US. You'll find broadcasters from England, 4 of us, Portugal, Marco Novo, South Africa, Brigitte Limbando, Australia, Adair Palmer, from England, Nick Wood and Grant Saunders. So many people to watch. I follow probably about 250 people on Amazon Live. I do it because I enjoy actually watching the shows and watching the different ways in which people actually present. Okay. Now, the one thing you may have noticed is that it's a bit dark in here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to switch the light on. Okay. If that's been annoying you, I do apologize, but we should now be reasonably well lit, and you should be able to see me, and all the settings on my camera are right. Okay. And this is the Logitech Lytra light, which I'm going to show you now. So down the Carousel is the Logitech Lytra light. And as you know, I first saw this light on Marco Nova's show, and he was talking to Daniel Zigman of Logitech, and Daniel was demonstrating the light. Now, backstory to this is I had, I'm going to go picture in picture here, just a minute. Let's go picture in picture, yeah. The backstory to this is that I had 2 soft boxes, one either side of me, and they threw light onto the wall and it reflected back on me and everything worked. For 3 years, I was happy. But then the softbox fabric, because it is a fabric cover, started to fray. And Angelica's my partner, and she said, looking a bit scruffy, shall we take them to the recycling centre? So we took the lights, dismantled the lights, took them to the recycling centre, and they've gone. So for 3 weeks, I was broadcasting without lights. Now, you can do that during the day, but it's very difficult to actually do it at night. Okay, because no lights at night is a problem. So I was looking for a new light, and I saw Daniel demonstrating this light. Now, this light is the Logitech Lytra light, and it's the only light I've got in my room. It's 6 o'clock at night here. The only light I've got in my room is the one Logitech Lytra light, which is lighting me now. This is it. Okay. Well, no, this is a copy of it. Okay. When you first get Logitech Lytra light, you've got cellophane there and you've got cellophane at the bottom. Just take it off, recycle it. Simple and straightforward. Next thing you can do is you can lift this shelf and it goes over the back of your monitor. Yeah. So just lift the shelf up, hook it over the back of your monitor. Now, the one that's lighting me at the moment is next to my Logitech Brio camera, and the light is coming down to me. In actual fact, it's like that. Okay. Now, a little thing here, supplied with the Logitech Lytra light is a USB cable. Plug the USB cable in, and then, having got the cable in, you've got switches on the back, and you can switch the light on. He said, trying to get the right one. Okay, so that's the Logitech Lytra light, and you can see it's not too bright. Now, the thing I'm actually going to do, because I'm aware I've got shadows all over the place, is just give me a second. This is not the best time of day to actually demonstrate light. Now I'm in full color. Okay, so, but I'm being lit by Logitech Lytra light. This is it, and it's $59.99, and not during the day, it's all you need. Now, this light has been designed for broadcasters and gamers. It has a light which you can run 24/7. Okay, it's a safe light. It's also not a bright light. Okay, and I'm going to show you a little bit about it, and then I'm going to show you the software that you can use to actually control this light. Okay, now its official title is the Logitech Lytra Glow Premium LED light. Okay, it's got true soft lighting, which means it's kind to skin tones. Okay, it's not a bright white light. Take that off. It's adjustable monitor mount. Now, just talking about that. First of all, you extend the monitor, the light up, or you can bring it back down again. You can bend the light forward, okay, like so, or even further, yeah. Or I'm going to switch it off because it's right. I'm going to switch it off. I see switched off now. The other thing is you can also swivel to the right and swivel to the left. Okay, it's very simple and easy to use. Now, if you don't want it on top of your monitor or your PC, what you can do is to take your trusted tripod, okay, and you can take the light off its Logitech stand and put it onto your tripod, which means that you can place this light anywhere on your desking, yeah, which gives you total freedom. Now, my light, as I say, is actually on my monitor, pointing down at me, and it's next to the Logitech Brio camera, which is also down in the carousel. Now, that's absolutely brilliant. So we'll see the tripod again in a moment. Very handy to have a tripod. Tripod's not in the carousel. That's my fault. I'll put it in the carousel next time. So the light is very flexible, and just a few more features, and then I'll show you the software. Now, on the back of the light, okay, you have brightness and temperature control. So you can control the temperature of the light, okay, and the brightness. Next one. That's what I just said, okay. And desktop app. I'm going to show you the desktop app in a moment. Okay, and it's got, now it's all about natural skin tones rather than blasting you with light. It's actually a soft light, which means that it shows you in your best light. I'm making this up as I go along. It's safe for all day streaming, which I said earlier, and it's got freedom of light placement. We've established that, and it uses Logitech's free software. So, oh, thank you. Oh, wait a minute. Let's go to the iPad. And thank you, Linda. Right, my friend Marco Novo, this moment, actually play music. I can't play music at the moment. I'm working on it. It's a work in progress. But Linda, I'd like to say thank you very much for following me. Now, Linda will get a talk. Well, Linda may get a message that I'm actually going live, but I'm now part of Linda's Amazon Live TV channel. So thank you, Linda. Brilliant. It is important to tell you why. If you enjoy somebody's broadcast and you follow them, Amazon see it. And when Amazon see it, they say, this person has got a following. Yeah. So it works for us. For you, as Linda, can now click the following tab up above and see everybody that she's following and catch their latest broadcast and catch them live, all in the same place. Your own Amazon Live TV channel. Linda, thank you. Now, the other thing is that Amazon, we don't get to know who you are. I just know it's Linda. I've no way of messaging Linda. I've no way of finding Linda. I just know that Linda is following me. So thank you for that, Linda. Much appreciated. Okay, so let's have a look at the software, because I've got to tell you, I love when a piece of hardware has software to control it, and especially the lights. I mean, I can switch the light on and off, hopefully, by just pressing one button. Okay, and I've gone darker, and now I've gone lighter. Now I'm going to share the screen. Okay, so let's put that light down and go over to screen share. Okay, I'm in my Be Live studio. I'm going to share a window with you. It's this window, and I'm going to bring it full screen. So what you do, you buy the Logitech Lytra light that's down in the carousel, then you hop over to logitech.com, type in Logitech Lytra, download the software, install it on your computer, and this is what happens. This is the software. Okay, this is Logitech G Hub. To give it its full name, this is Logitech's free G Hub desktop app. Now, the thing is that Logitech wrote this software for gamers. Okay, and to Daniel. So we'll hide Marco and Daniel. This is the software that controls the light that's lighting me at the moment. Now, if I go side by side, okay, and I just want to change things slightly. So give me a second. It'll be worth it. Just wait. Right. Okay. And we're side by side now, so you can actually see me. Okay. Now, the software controls the lighting, and it controls the brightness and the temperature. And let's go through these one at a time, and hopefully you'll see a difference. Okay, this is the top setting, and you can see this is called bright cool blue, and this is very bright. This is a bright light. It's the brightest it gets, actually, because if you look at the settings on the software, I'll go side by side so you can see it. You can see that both brightness and temperature, well, brightness is at the max and temperature is at the lowest, so it's cool. This is a cool look. So second preset, so I'm going to go through the presets so you get an idea of what you can do with this light for $59.99. Yeah, cozy daylight. Now that's more subtle, and I think we're getting towards where I'm starting to look natural on camera, hopefully. Okay, so go back again and go over to the third setting. Okay, and this is mild afternoon, and I need the next one actually, which is soft sunset. Now this is one of my favorite lightings. It's so, as you can see, it's so simple and straightforward to do. You're just clicking on a drop down menu and everything is working. Right, 2 to go, and the next one is cozy candlelight. I quite like this for lighting too. Remember, it's evening in the UK and I'm lit. Okay, and finally is this one. Okay, so now this one, first of all, disclaimer, Logitech did not create this preset. You can create your own preset. So this preset, okay, just let me go again. This preset is much too bright. So let's go side by side. Let's reduce the brightness. Okay, so I'm going to bring the brightness down to about there. Okay, so that's not as bright. And let's bring the temperature down to about there, or perhaps there. Okay, so you're in control. You can decide exactly how you appear on camera. Now, good lighting is as important as a good camera and a good microphone. It's the three elements: camera, microphone, lighting. You can spend hundreds of dollars on but I would suggest that the Logitech Lytra Glow, which was only released in January 2022, is a contender. I just love it. I mean, I love it so much. I actually got 2 of them. You only need 1, but I got 2. I got this one, so I could actually show you what it looks like, because pointing up to the top of my monitor just doesn't work. Okay. So to recap, and then we'll go on to the next item. Okay, this is the Logitech Lytra light. When it comes, it's got cellophane top and bottom. Just take that off. Light controls are on the back, and you can switch the light on, and you can switch the light off. You can extend the light, and you can bring it back down again. Mine is over the top of my monitor next to my Logitech Brio, and it's like that. Well, more like that really, because it's over the top of my monitor. If you don't want it over the top of your monitor, you can put it, we take the light off, just screws off, and you put it on a tripod stand. Okay, now just one final thing. You must plug, using the cable supplied by Logitech, you must plug it direct into your computer or Mac in order for this software to work. Yeah, so basically it's safe for all-day streaming. It's very friendly. It has this desktop app, and it's got brightness and color temperature controls, which you've just seen. So in essence, this is the Logitech Lytra light. I love it. I haven't found, well, other than the fact that you've got to plug it direct into your PC or Mac, you can't go through a USB hub. That's fine. So there we have it. I'm going to put that down and just have a quick look at the iPad. iPad is down in the carousel. I used to be totally a Windows guy, but I had to get the iPad to be able to broadcast on Amazon Live. So I love the iPad now. Okay. Right. The next thing we're going to look at, I'm going to highlight. Now, the item I'm talking about is in the carousel below me, and it's highlighted there. It's got an orange box around it. That's the one I'm talking about. If you're watching on YouTube, you'll find the link to join me on Amazon Live up above in the text, but otherwise the featured item is there. Okay, so the featured item now is the Logitech C920x. Now I just need to change my memory, and we're going to talk about the Logitech C920x, and the X stands for extra. Now I'm going to tell you what the extra is, and I'm going to demonstrate it. But this is, he said, just a second. Let's get this over here. This is the Logitech C920x camera, as in the carousel. Now, I got this camera 6 years ago. The version down in the carousel was released in 2020. So the version in the carousel is an updated version of this camera. When live broadcasting started, basically, which was 6 or 7 years ago, we were all over on Blab, which is a system. This is before Facebook Live. And then Facebook Live came along, and hundreds of people have been live broadcasting, said, oh, we can go live on Facebook Live. We better improve our game, better up our game. And we all flooded out and bought this camera, Logitech C920x. What you have is twin microphones, stereo microphones, and the lens in the center with a field of view 78 degrees. Now I'm going to explain that later. Okay. Now, as far as the camera is concerned, all you need to do is to take the USB-A lead and plug it into your computer or a hub. Mine, Brio's on a hub at the moment. Okay. Now, as far as the camera is concerned, you can just pull out that live, sorry. You pull that shelf down, and then you can put it over the back of your monitor. That's all you need to do. My camera, my Brio, is actually over the back of my monitor, and I've got it positioned so I'm actually looking at the camera most of the time. Hint number one, try to look into the camera lens, because then it looks, and you can attest to this, it looks that I'm looking straight at you. I'm going to give you some camera hints as we go along. Always look at the camera. Now, this is a learned skill. It's not a natural skill. The natural thing is to look at yourself on camera. What you should try to do, whether you're on a Zoom call, Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, or Twitch, is look at the camera. Okay. Ignore everything else and just look at the camera. Okay. Anyway. Okay. So we're saying you put it on top of your monitor or on top of your PC or your Mac. Plug it in. And because millions of these cameras have been sold, then your computer will recognize this straight away. Now, if you don't want your camera on the top of your monitor, there is a thread underneath, and we can take the trusty tripod we made earlier, and we can put the camera on a tripod. Okay, now this is a doddle to do. It is so easy to do that I'm actually doing it live now whilst talking, and there you have it. You need to adjust it, of course, but the Logitech C920x camera is now on a tripod, which means that you can position the tripod anywhere on your desking. You're not limited to having the camera up above you. You could actually, if you get the right tripod, you could have it anywhere on your desking. You could have any angle. Okay. Now I'm in a studio where I've actually got multiple angles. So what I could do is, if I go off solo, and we can stop that software because we've done that bit. Okay. And I can switch this camera on. The thing is that what you can actually do is you can set up different camera angles. So this Logitech C920x could well be pointed down at your desking surface. So if you're doing demonstrations, then it's ideal for doing demonstrations. In fact, this camera is the ideal first camera to yourself, okay, or to a friend or family. Okay, this is the ideal first camera. If you know somebody who's actually on Zoom a lot, then this camera will change the way that people look at them. Literally. Yeah, it will improve the quality of the broadcast. Now, the thing is, it's also an external microphone. And if there is an Achilles heel to most computer systems, I include PCs and Macs in this, it is the camera and the sound. And that's why back in 2016, we all decided to get this Logitech C920x as our first external camera and microphone and improve the quality of our broadcast. So when we're broadcasting on Facebook Live, and I've done about 3,000 broadcasts on Facebook Live in 6.5 years, we got this camera. I know hundreds of my broadcasting friends, and I've got 400 or 500 of those dear friends, still use this camera, and there's no reason not to. The only reason I upgraded from this camera is I wanted to broadcast in 4K, so I got Logitech Brio, which will meet shortly. But let's go through the main features of the Logitech C920x while it's starring on camera. The X stands for extra. I'm going to show you what the extra is in a moment. Okay, because you've got the C920 and the C920x. It's the same camera, but the X has extras. It's full 1080p. And in terms of broadcasting, I'm broadcasting to you today in 720p, which is DVD quality. That's the standard DVD quality, is 720p. 30 frames per second. The more frames per second, the better the quality of the picture. Okay, now if you go to the cinema, you're well over 30 frames, but for internet broadcasting, 30 frames per second is the standard. Okay, so it's good quality. It's got, we've said, twin microphones, omnidirectional. That means that they pick up the sound all around you. So you do need some kind of noise cancellation software. HD light correction. Now, if I'm going to do this, okay, I'm only doing it once, but if I turn the light off, I go darker. What the camera does is to try to correct automatically, compensate for the lighting not being there. But I feel that we should all have lighting on. Yeah, because it's heading towards 7 o'clock in the UK. It's getting dark. And the next thing is that there is advanced capture software called Logitech Capture. I'm going to show you that when we look at the Brio camera. Okay, so, and then low light setting compensation. We've talked about that. We've also probably talked about 78 degrees field of view. I'm going to show you that when we get to the Brio, the different fields of view. The version of the camera that's down in the carousel was released 31st of March 2020. I've had this 6 years. So this is the previous version of it. It's been totally re-engineered by Logitech, and I can only say it's quality. I mean, this is 6 years old. It's as new. It's still got some of the cellophane on there, and it normally lives on my second computer. Just a minute. Okay, I can go here, and just give me a second. I just need to work something. If I go to here, okay, it normally lives on top of that. If I go side by side, okay, this camera normally lives on top of that Samsung all-in-one PC. Okay, back to me. Okay, I must try and get my head out of that shot. Okay, and Logitech C920x includes 3 months license of XSplit VCam. Now, I could tell you about XSplit VCam. Just a minute. I could tell you about it, but what I'm going to do is I'm now going to show you how background removal software works. So I'm going to bring a video up on screen. Okay. So that's the video. And I'm just going to explain to you how all background removal software works. So I'm going to switch my microphone. I'll press play. I'll be back in 2 minutes. Okay. And this is how background software removal actually works. Easy to give you an overview of XSplit VCam, how it works. Background removal tool I've been using since January 2019, and it just keeps getting better and better. Now the image behind me is one of Salisbury Cathedral, and the acid test of any background removal tool is that you still have 10 fingers with little webbing between them. Okay, so that test passed. Second is the outline of your body. Those are the things to look for when you're looking at a green screen, the ability to actually move about. So let's take a look at the software itself. And this is the XSplit VCam program. Okay, now you notice at the top there, it says original. This is me. This is also me. So this is how I look normally. Now, first stage is to actually remove the background. So let's remove the background by pressing a button, and I get background's gone. Okay, prove that if I go here, background has disappeared. Okay, so the next step is to select a background to go in place, and you can do that just by clicking an image. You'll get a different background. Okay, that's it. That's very colorful. Now, just a warning, you need to make sure that the image at the top is not too light. Okay, what you don't want is to have an image too light at the top. If you try it, you'll see what I mean. Okay, now XSplit VCam is an external program which you download from XSplit, and it sits on your computer and you can use it in this way. Okay, so over to one of my favorite backgrounds. So I'm just switching background. Now, if I go to here, you can actually see that I can get backgrounds from several sources. I can upload a media file. Okay, and I'm going to upload a media file. I'm going to go on my hard drive to artwork and to reduced. Okay, and I'm going to bring up this image, and that's it. That's how easy it is to take an image from your hard drive and bring it on screen. Second thing you can do is you can run a YouTube video. Now I can show the second thing you can do with, I've been using XSplit VCam since January 2019, and I've been following its progress, and it's got better and better, and background removal software is now very stable and it works. The thing you're looking for though is you don't get a line around your head and your hair doesn't blow in the breeze. But the second thing you can do as a background is you can have a YouTube video. So you can go, if it's your video, then just go and get the URL from YouTube, put it in to XSplit VCam, and you can play a moving video in the background. The video will play without sound. Okay. And the next thing is obviously you can actually use somebody else's video if it's public. But the thing is there that in order for you to use it, the person who created the video has to have allowed use outside of YouTube. Not everybody does this. So if you get a video which won't play as a background, just move on to the next one, because you're never going to get it to work. But when it works, it's absolutely beautiful. I've got a one of the solar system, which is, yeah, okay. I don't use, well, I'll come back to that in a minute. Third place you can get images from is you can put any website behind you. That's your own website. You can, by default, all websites are public. If you do use somebody else's website, okay, I mean, I could use the BBC or CNN or CNBC or any of those. Just say who it is, and you've virtually covered them because you're actually displaying a public website, and just thank the people for actually allowing you to do it. And then the final place you can get background images from is a website called unsplash.com. Now, unsplash.com is a free resource. Photographers from around the world have sent their best photographs to unsplash.com, which means that we can go to unsplash.com and we can search for Paris, Texas, in which case we will get pictures of Paris, Texas. Or we can search for Paris, France, in which case we'll probably get pictures of the Eiffel Tower, okay, or some such. But you get the idea. It's totally searchable. Now, when you find an image you like, you download it in the resolution you want, and for our purposes, 1920 by 1080. 1920 by 1080 is the resolution you want. You don't need any bigger. Download that image, and what I would try to do is to actually send out a tweet thanking the photographer for letting me use it, which promotes them and it promotes me, because I've got a beautiful image in my Twitter feed and people know I'm going to use it during my live broadcast as my background. Now, I think that covers the Logitech C920x. Okay, so the X stands for, hopefully this will work. Let's hide that camera again. Okay, it stands for XSplit VCam. You get a 3-month license, and you can get your pictures from unsplash.com or from your own hard drive or from YouTube or from a web page. Okay, and it does really mix up your live broadcast, and you'd actually amaze everybody who's on your Zoom call if you could change your background whilst you're live. Okay, so Logitech C920x down the carousel. It's today. It is, I can tell you, it is 14% off at $59.99, which is a good price. I had mine. Let's just recap. Oh, I put it back. Oh, wait a minute. I've got to do something. Okay, I've got to do something. I need my tripod back. So I'm going to take it off its tripod. Okay, so yeah, there's the tripod, there's the camera. All is well. Okay, I just noticed I've got a glitch in my screen. Oh, right. Okay. If you're wondering what that is, I wondered for a moment then what that is bottom right. That's my chess set. Okay, and it's just made its way into the picture. Okay, chess set came all the way from Cyprus. Right. Okay, a couple of camera tips. Okay, before we move on, we've all been on live calls, whether it be Zoom or Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, or Twitch. Okay, there are a couple of things which are important, and we're going to cover them twice. You need to have headroom, and I'll show you all about headroom when we go on to the next item in the carousel. You need to be in the center of the screen. And the other thing, if you're broadcasting live, and I include Zoom in this, don't fidget. Do not go off to the side. Try and be a statue in the center of the screen. Now, you can move. I mean, we need facial expressions. We need the smiles. We need occasionally the laughter. But don't wave your hands about, okay? Because basically, if you stop waving your hands about, you're saving trees. Because you don't have to send, every time you move, you've got to send more information over the internet. And if you're sending more information, then that's taking more energy. And yeah, okay. So put your hands down and save trees. Okay. Right. Okay. Now, we've been talking just for a moment. I'm just going over here and I'm on my carousel. The green screen behind me is a Fovitech green screen, but as an experiment today, the Fovitech is reversible. It's green on one side, as you can see down the carousel now, but it's blue on the other. And I keep telling people it's green on one side and blue on the other. But I've never actually shown you what color of blue it is. This is the blue. Yeah, this is what it looks like. Okay, in the evening in the UK now. There are software houses who say that you do not need a green screen at all. You do not need a green screen. Now, if you don't have a green screen, your image will be okay, but you may get a line around your head. You may get your hair blowing in the breeze and it will tear. Okay, I'm going to show you. What I'm going to do is this is live, so anything can happen and probably will. What I'm going to do is I'm going to, because I have built into my BeLive system, I do have background removal software. So we're going to try this because you've taken time out of your day to actually watch me. I do appreciate that. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to do background removal live on air. And you've seen this image before. Now, what's going to happen in a second is that I'm going to disappear. Okay, but don't worry, I'm going to disappear, and then software is working away, and I'm now here. Now, the reason I don't do this while I'm live on Amazon Live is this. Okay, this is pretty good software. Okay, and you can't, my hair's not blowing in the breeze, and you've not got a line around my face, and you can see, just a minute, you can see 10 fingers. Okay, so this is pretty good background software. But if I'm live on Amazon Live and I show you this, then it's going to break. Yeah, can you see what's happening? Yeah, background removal software is brilliant until you actually start showing an object on screen. Just a hint. Okay, so when you're actually demonstrating product, don't have background removal software running. Simply, I'm going to do it again. I'm going to take the background removal software off. He said, hopefully. I don't want to be stuck like this. Hopefully, we're back to me now. Okay, so that's basically, that was a live demonstration of background removal software from within my BeLive studio. I'm broadcasting today on BeLive, okay? And wherever you see this logo, that logo, that's BeLive. BeLive is 8 people on screen. YouTube video player, you've already seen that. Images, you've seen those. Captions on screen, in fact, agendas on screen. Multiple studios, and it's just one of the best systems around. Okay, so that's be.live, and I'm going to take off that logo. But I've been using BeLive since October 2016, and it's matured. It is a brilliant system to broadcast live, and I broadcast live on Amazon Live 5 days a week. Normally 11 a.m. Eastern, but I've got a little story. I was normally broadcast at 11 a.m. Eastern, which is 4 p.m. my time, because I'm 5 hours ahead of you. And I was all set up to go at 11 o'clock Eastern this morning, and I started the broadcast and I went live. And I was 12 minutes in. I was in full flow. I'd done the introduction and everything. I was talking about the Logitech Lytra light. And then Angelica, my partner, said, there's some software on my desktop that says it's doing a backup and it's just going round and round and round. From that point on, my live broadcast on Amazon Live after 12 minutes just stopped. Yeah. But it wasn't Angelica's software. Okay. Basically, we in the UK lost the internet for 2 hours. And that meant I couldn't stop the broadcast. And I couldn't broadcast live because no internet. We take the internet for granted. I closed everything down because there's no internet. You don't need a browser. If you no internet, browser's no use. It's like a chocolate teapot. And I went onto my desktop and I looked at the icons on the desktop. I thought, which of those icons can I click with no internet? And the answer was Kindle. Yeah, because I've got books downloaded. I could read books on the Kindle desktop app. once we just live on the internet. Once there's no internet, then we've got problems. Yeah. Now it affected the major distributors in the UK, but what we've decided going forward is that we're going to have a MiFi. I'll have it in the carousel next week. We're going to go MiFi. So if our main internet is off, we can switch over to the MiFi. Okay, because Angelica teaches. And in fact, Angelica is teaching this very moment. Okay, on to the next item then. So let's go back to cameras. And we're going to go back to the Logitech Brio. Now, the Logitech Brio is 157. Wow. It's 157.49, which is 44% off. Okay. Now, the prices that are down in the carousel are active whilst I'm live. Once this live broadcast is over, you're back to the normal price. So the special thing we have is I've got 44% discount on the Logitech Brio. And that's an amazing discount. That's far less than I paid. Okay, so let's have a look at the Brio. Now, the first thing you should note is that I'm actually broadcasting on the Logitech Brio now. So you're watching a broadcast on the Logitech Brio. Okay, so you're watching it. I can't give you better than that. Hopefully, the picture that's coming through to Amazon Live at the moment is a good one. I'm just going to do a couple of things just to make sure that it's a good one. Just a second. I'm reducing my bandwidth. Hopefully, it's a good picture. If it's not a good picture, then can you let me know? But this is the Logitech Brio camera. The reason I got the Brio and upgraded from the C920x was basically I wanted to broadcast in 4K. And the Logitech Brio is a 4K webcam. Now, you've got 720, you've got 1080, and you've got 4K, which is somewhere up there. And as you go up, the number of pixels actually transmitted over the internet goes up from 720 to 1080 to 4K. The more pixels that are sent, the clearer the image. Now, 720 is DVD, 1080 is HD, and 4K is Ultra, as we'll find out as we go through the features. But I wanted to broadcast live. I wanted to broadcast in 4K. So I got the 4K camera. And I did a broadcast. I can't use BeLive to broadcast in 4K. You've got choices. You can use OBS, vMix, or XSplit Broadcaster. Those are the ones that we can actually use to broadcast in 4K using the camera. So it's the same camera, just different software. And I broadcast live to YouTube, and the quality difference was, well, it's absolutely incredible. To watch a 4K broadcast is mind-blowing. I mean, it's like 4K on the television. We know how good it is, how clear the picture is, how wonderful the colors are, how bright the colors are. So I wanted to broadcast in 4K. I did it using XSplit Broadcaster. I went live to YouTube, and the results just blew me away. 4K webcam, broadcasting to YouTube, excellent quality, excellent quality. Now, as far as the PC was concerned, the only software I had running was XSplit Broadcaster, but you could have OBS or vMix, and you can use Logitech Brio camera to broadcast in 4K out to YouTube. Brilliant. Okay, so just going through the salient points, because you're actually watching the camera at the moment. It's Ultra 4K HD video. It's a noise cancelling microphone. Now, this is important. We said that the Logitech C920x had twin microphones, and so does the Brio, and it can hear all the noise around you. So what the noise cancellation does is it cuts out all the noise around you, so that only you can be heard. Yeah. Now, we proved this yesterday, and I'm going to prove it now. Noise cancelling software can make a whole lot of difference. Let's ask Alexa, is it raining?
It's raining right now.
Right, now you could hear Alexa. But if I do this, this is live. Hopefully you will not hear what I'm, right, okay. Alexa, play the Beatles.
Shuffling songs by the Beatles on Amazon Music.
Hey Jude, Don't let
Alexa, stop. Right, now for your information, Alexa was then sorry, Alexa. Alexa was then playing Hey Jude by the Beatles, but you couldn't hear it. Hopefully, fingers crossed. If you could hear it, then let me know. But noise cancellation software could...
This might answer your question. George Harrison, Paul McCartney, John Lennon, and Ringo Starr sang in Hey Jude by the Beatles.
Brilliant. Thank you, Alexa. Alexa, stop. All right. I'm not going to say that word again because otherwise things will get complicated. Okay. So the Logitech Brio camera has a noise cancelling microphone which cuts out any music. All we can hear is our voice. High definition light correction. We've looked at that earlier. Basically, if you switch your lighting off, then the camera will try and compensate. Not as good as lighting, but it means you could still see me. Wide field of view. The Logitech C920, Logitech Brio is 90 degrees field of view. Okay. And in addition to that, the Brio, which you're watching right now, is 4 times the resolution of a typical HD webcam. And it is. It's such high quality that when you compare the two, and then over to, it's got auto light adjustment, which is called right light. We've looked at that. And it's got 3 fields of view. Okay, now what we're going to try and do is I'm now going to show you the software, which is free. Okay, if you've got a Logitech camera, what I'm about to show you will control any Logitech camera for free. You go to logitech.com and you download Logitech Capture. Just go to logitech.com, type Logitech Capture into the search box. You can download the software. Once you've got the software on your desktop, it will recognize your Logitech camera. Let's see what happens. Okay, this is going to be exciting, especially if it works, it'll be exciting. So I'm going to share screen. Okay, and I'm going to go here. Just bear with me a moment. The software will load, and I'm going to go to Window, and there it is. Share. And I got it. Okay. Right, the adventure continues. What we're going to do now is I'm going to bring this software is Logitech Capture, or a relative of Logitech Capture. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to use this software to actually control my camera. So let's take it off full screen and take, we've watched that video, so I can hide that video. And this is Logitech Capture, and it's next to me. Okay, so you're watching the Brio. As it says bottom right, you're watching the Logitech Brio. Let's go side by side so you can see a bit more. You're watching Logitech Brio, and this is being controlled by Logitech software, which is free to you. Just go to logitech.com, type in Logitech Capture, download it. Once you've downloaded it, then you have controls which control the physical aspects. So I can zoom in. Okay, my apologies for this. I'm going to zoom in. I'm going to zoom in again. And that's probably too big. So quickly, I'm going to come back. But before I leave here, there's one thing I do want to point out. Okay, I take part in Zoom calls. I've watched many broadcasts. And one of the problems that people have is setting themselves correctly on camera. Now, I've done this on purpose, but some people accidentally cut off the top of their heads. Now, this is not a natural look. We're not used to seeing, we want to know what you look like on camera, and cutting the top of your head off is it, how can I say this? It's annoying. Yeah. Frame yourself on camera. What you should be doing is, I've said this before, I'm going to come to it again. So I've got myself to the right size now. You'll notice I've got head space. That's a technical term too. I've got head space. Yeah. There's a space between the top of my head and the top of the screen. The other thing is I'm in the middle of the screen. Yeah. And I'm looking at the camera now. Yeah. So remember that. So next thing is, okay. So you can, I'm going to go side by side for this. And I want to go side by side like this. Give me a second. Okay, it'll be worth it. I do assure you it'll be worth it. So we've now got both of us on widescreen, and I'm still controlling the camera with the software. I can pan right, okay, and you're going to see Okay, on my right hand side, you now know that there is a chest of drawers, okay, and also a Samsung computer. If I go the other way, you know, on the other side is my bookshelf, but I prefer it when I am actually, just one more, I think. I prefer it when I'm actually center of screen. Okay, that works better than having a distraction at the side. I can also tilt up and down using the software. I'm just using the controls to the right of me. And if I go back to here, now we're going to talk about fields of view now. I described earlier the fields of view. In other words, how wide can the camera see? Okay. Now I don't know what's black over there. There's something slipped. Okay. I don't know what that is. Okay. I'll tell you later when I know what it is. 3 fields of view, 65 degrees, 78 degrees, 90. We're going to go through those 3 now, and you'll see the difference. Okay. This is all a matter of personal choice. What you're actually trying to do is you're trying to be comfortable on camera. So do you go with 90 degrees? Now at 90 degrees, you can see more of my office. And if I shrink myself, okay, and go here, there's nothing wrong with this, nothing at all. You can see a cabinet to the right of me, which is still being assembled. You can see my Samsung all-in-one PC. You can see my bookshelf. You can see my chess set all the way from Cyprus. This view works for many broadcasters. Show everything behind you, yeah. And this is the 90-degree field of view. So let's take me off solo and come to the software again. And I'm going to go 78 degrees and I'm going to up the, okay, I'm just going to up that, and we're coming close to where I'm now comfortable on screen. Okay, this is my natural position. I love being centered. I love the headroom. And I love being in the middle. This is 78 degrees. The next one is 90 degrees, 65 degrees field of view. And what you've got here is that I am larger, and that's the 65. It's pushing in. It's only taking a 60, it's a Brio camera, 65 degrees. I'm not comfortable at this. Okay, I've got to say, I prefer to be at 78 degrees. Let's go to 78 degrees. Okay, so we'll go there. So that's 78 degrees. This is my natural state. I love looking like this on camera. So 78 degrees. Now, back to the software again. This software is free. You can download it from logitech.com to control any Logitech camera, with the exception of the Logitech Mevo. So it controls C920, 922, 925, 930, and 270, and the Brio. Next thing you can do is you can alter. If I click the software rather than the screen display, you can alter the brightness. Now I can bring the brightness up. Okay, that's not good, and I can take the brightness right down, and you can't see me. Now, if I bring this back, he said, I'm trying to bring this back. I want to come back. Okay, I thought it wasn't going to work for a minute. 1 minute. Sometime when I actually demonstrate this, I'm going to get stuck. I'm going to get stuck. I know I'm going to get stuck. Okay, demonstrating software live is, well, okay. It's fun, but well, let's carry on. Okay, so basically, the next thing you can do is you can alter the color intensity. Now I'm about to go bright red, just a warning. Change the color intensity. I go bright red, and you'll notice, interestingly, that's the first time I've seen that. You've got the green background, and right back down. Now this is sepia, and this could be a good look. If you want to stand out on live broadcast, then go for sepia, because nobody else does. And then back to the middle. Now all the controls, the default setting is, I'm just trying here, the default setting it's important I get this right, because I want to be. Just give me a second. Okay. Right. The default setting for all the controls is 50%. So if you make a mess of it, not that we're going to, but if you make a mess of it, just go back to 50%, and then you'll be okay. Now, next thing is that the next thing I can alter and totally mess up is the contrast. So let's mess up the contrast. I can go like that. Now, there could be an occasion when you actually want to be like that. Okay, but I'm not really a negative person. So I'm going to come over. Sorry about the pun. I'm going to come over until we get back to 50%. Now, the thing is that about this software, which is free from Logitech, is it remembers your settings. So what I do is I practice every Sunday night. I do a local recording and I get the settings exactly as I want them, and I know everything's working, so that I know my Logitech Brio is working perfectly. I know my Elgato Wave 3 microphone is working perfectly. 20 minutes on a Sunday night can set you up for the week, and you make sure everything's working right. Unless, of course, you actually are demonstrating software, in which case anything can go wrong. But as a general rule. Now, the other thing is auto white balance. You can switch it on or off. It is a personal preference. Okay, I'm going to switch it on, and that's much too red for me. So I'm going to switch it off again because we don't need it. Hopefully I can switch it off again. I've broken it. Just a minute. Oh, good. Talk amongst yourselves for a minute. Okay, just a second. Drastic action is called for. Okay. Now, if in the course of doing this, your color on screen changes too much, just switch your light off and switch it back on again. That's all I did. Okay, so that is the Logitech Brio camera. And just to finish off, it's got 3 fields of view. I've just shown you those. It is up to 90 FPS and 4K, so it's very high quality, and you can broadcast to YouTube in that quality if your PC can take it. It's got versatile mounting options. You could either have it on your monitor as I've got it now, or you could have it on a tripod. It was released, hang on, it's 4K on YouTube, 1080 on Twitch, 720 on Twitter and Facebook. It was released in February 2017. The software I've just shown you is called Logitech Capture, and you just need to go to logitech.com, download it, and it will control any of your Logitech cameras, with the exception of the Mevo. Okay, so let's take that off screen and come back to me. I'm just so grateful to be broadcasting. I'm broadcasting, just a reminder for those who've joined us recently. If I go here, if you joined us recently, welcome to the broadcast, and you are watching Lights Camera Action with Stephen Healey, and you're watching Stephen live from Wiltshire, England, Stonehenge, Avebury, Salisbury Cathedral, 97 miles from London, in the middle of the countryside. Absolutely beautiful place to live. And I'm here with my partner Angelica. I am broadcasting using Be Live, okay, which allows me to do everything. You're watching Be Live actually do a range of things that only Be Live can do. Okay, if you're thinking about live broadcasting, think about Be Live. 8 people on screen, play YouTube videos, show images, everything that I've shown you so far, and show captions on screen as well, and agendas. Okay, what I have, okay, the thing about broadcasting live is you show an object, okay, like these earbuds. Okay, let's go with the earbuds. I'm just trying to open the case. These are Treblab earbuds, and they have a brilliant hi-fi quality sound, and they're down in the carousel right at the end, I think. But basically, find a charger for them. Okay, so I'm broadcasting using Be Live, which allows me to do everything I'm doing. I've told you about Logitech Capture, and thank you for watching me live. Okay, I do appreciate it. And if you are enjoying the broadcast, and I hope you are, then please press the follow button. In actual fact, I've got a list of sayings down here before we go on to the next item. Okay, unmute to hear my stories if you're not already unmuted, and you can ask questions. I'm here to help you. Okay, and you can ask me questions about live broadcasting and about the items in the carousel. Okay, right. Now, I am a desktop guy. I love broadcasting on desktop. But back in March 2021, I actually discovered again mobile broadcasting. In other words, if I can find it. Oh, wait a minute. Oh, it's down. Oh, right. Okay, I discovered broadcasting a mobile phone. And one of the things that's important about mobile broadcasting, I'll show you a video in a moment. I broadcast, I can show you a bit of this. I had everything prepared at 11 a.m. Eastern, ready to go live at 11 a.m. Eastern. I only went live for 12 minutes, which is why you're watching me now, because normally I'm alive at 11 a.m. Eastern. Okay, this is down in the carousel now. This is just to be live off for a moment. Just go here, remove the logo. So go back to there and get rid of that. Well, not get rid of, remove. I think we should say remove. We shouldn't say get rid of. This is the HOEM iSteady gimbal. And this is what I discovered back in March 2021. It's very lightweight. Okay, now the job, we're just going to have to pretend for a moment. Just pretend with me. What we're actually going to pretend is this. Okay, I'm going to pretend. Okay, so suspend belief for a second or two. I'm going to improvise. Okay, just pretend this is a mobile phone. It's actually a power pack. Okay, but pretend it's a mobile phone because my mobile phone is actually on charge down the kitchen. Okay, all right. If you're using a mobile phone for mobile video, which I do, then the first thing is that you have a tight grip on the mobile phone when you're actually filming. And the reason for this is you don't want to drop your mobile phone on the floor because that could be expensive. If you've got an expensive iPhone or Samsung phone, then you don't want to drop your phone. Okay. The second problem you have is this. And it's a natural one. As we were walking, and you're walking filming with your mobile phone, you're going to go up and down, and your mobile phone is going to up and down. Now, you won't notice it, but anybody watching the replay of your video is going to watch a jittery, shaky video because your hand is moving. There's nothing we can do about it. It's a physical thing. Your hand is moving, right? That's why and where the gimbal actually comes into its own. The first thing is, I just want to, hang on, I've got myself in a twist. Just don't go anywhere. Okay, so let's put this down. Okay, what's going to happen is this, that I'm going to take myself off solo. Okay, we're going to remove the software. We're going to switch the second camera back on. Okay, and we're going to go picture in picture. And you don't want to look at, you don't want to look over there. We want to be looking there. Okay, past me, that's me, down to the desktop. This is the HOEM iSteady gimbal. I just want to shrink myself. So give me a second. I'm just going to shrink because I'm taking up too much of the picture. Let's shrink. Okay, so I've now shrunk. Okay, and you can now see the desktop. Now we're going to concentrate on the gimbal at the moment, the one that's down in the carousel. You can actually see out the window. This is the HOEM iSteady gimbal, and it's two jobs. You take your mobile phone, and this is my pretend mobile phone because things are not going according to plan, and you basically open the clamp, and it will expand for larger mobile phones, and you take the case off your phone and then put it into the clamp. So your phone is in the clamp. You then have on the front of the gimbal a set of controls. I'm going to show you those now. So the controls are here. Okay, I'm going to point towards the camera. And one of those is to switch the gimbal on. Now, when you switch the gimbal on, it will actually set itself up for broadcasting. But if you put it, don't switch it on holding it. Okay, the first thing that a gimbal does when you switch it on is to stabilize. And it can't stabilize properly if you're holding it. So you need to put it on a desktop or a bench or a flat rock will do. And once you've got it onto one of those, and basically what you can do is you can switch it on. So you switch the gimbal on, it swivels. I'm going to simulate swiveling because we're simulating everything today because we're sorry that today. And okay, and then you can go, just come back to me. You can go with your gimbal and you can point and shoot and you can do video. Now, I could wax lyrical about this. I've got a Zion down behind me as well, but this is the Hoem iSteady gimbal. It's lightweight. It simply works out the box. Okay. And what I'm going to do, I could tell you all about this, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to put the gimbal down and I just need to find something in my agenda. Okay, so I'm looking for something. Okay, that's what I'm looking for. Okay, this video was created using a Hoem iSteady gimbal. Okay, now what I'm going to do is I'm going to play you a video, and that video was actually shot using the gimbal that's down in the carousel. Okay, so this is what it can do. And I said earlier that we'd actually go off to visit Stonehenge. So I'm a man of my word. So I'm going to bring the Stonehenge video up full screen. You're about to take a virtual tour of Stonehenge. Now, if you've never been there, it is a wonderful place to visit. It's half an hour from where I live. I managed to go with Angelica 4 or 5 times a year. This is the video I made on Boxing Day 2021, and I'm going to press play. I'll be back in a few minutes. Now, don't worry, we're going to start off on the far side of the stones, and then I'm going to finish it by giving you a close-up view of stones as you've got now. So roll video. Let's put the caption on the screen. Okay, and I'm going to switch my microphone off and press play. Not raining, and give you a tour. Well, let's go. Right, there aren't too many people here. Basically, it's to wish you a Merry Christmas and a happy, healthy and prosperous New Year from Angelica and myself, and from everybody visiting Stonehenge today. Boxing Day 2021. Okay, I think we're in the clear now, hopefully. Right, so as usual, broadcasting on Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, and my website. And that's just a beautiful sight, especially as it's a beautiful day, as I pan around to give you some idea of the countryside around the Henge. Now, the Henge is not on its own. There are burial mounds all around, and behind me is my wonderful partner, Angelica, who is looking the other way. Hello! Right. And going over to, now this is the road. People slow down here because they've actually got a view of Stonehenge, so the traffic along this road gets congested during the week, and that's the road that they're actually going to replace with a tunnel. Now, the tunnel won't go directly under Stonehenge, thank goodness, because we don't want Stonehenge to subside into a pile of rubble, but it will go within half a mile of Stonehenge. And I think the current state of play is that it's going to go ahead, and the idea is that the road that we're looking at now will just be closed or not as busy. I mean, it's Boxing Day today, but you can see. Right. Okay. Now I've got control of the video, which means that I can fast forward so that you actually get closer to Stonehenge, and then it will be back to me. So let's go here. And I think this is possibly where I want to go. I'm just adjusting things. Okay, so we're going to play again. I'm going to switch my microphone off. I will be back in a moment. There's a
Sorry, watch out where you're going, Dick.
Right, okay. Hopefully. Right. Okay, so this is the end of our journey. This is as close as you can get to the stones, as I say, apart from the 2 days a year. And you can see how this was constructed 4,500 years ago. They're still trying to work out how they got the lintel. I mean, it's a feat of engineering because we're talking 4,500 years ago. The stones came from Wales and from Marlborough, had to be brought here, not by cart, they were actually rolled here. So quite a considerable feat. Now, beyond and it's back to me. Okay, so that was Stonehenge. Now, all my videos, I just need to put my name on screen for a second so you know. All my videos shot on the home gimbal, okay, about 20 of them, are all on YouTube. So after this broadcast, I'm going to finish in about 10 minutes. After this broadcast, if you go over to YouTube, you can watch the full video. You can also visit Salisbury Cathedral. You can also visit the Quartz Garden. We saw the picture earlier of the Quartz Garden, beautiful place. So you can go all around. You can do a virtual tour of Wiltshire on YouTube. Now, the thing you'll notice is that when I was going around with the gimbal, I was actually narrating. Okay, I was talking about a visit to Stonehenge and giving you a history of Stonehenge and some information about the henge itself. Now, if I had, pretend this is a mobile phone again, if I had used the microphone in my mobile phone, it would not have been good enough quality to put it on YouTube, because people want to listen to what you're actually saying. You need clear voice. So in relation to that, all the videos have actually been shot with this lapel microphone actually plugged into the mobile phone. So the lapel microphones are absolutely amazing and produce high quality sound. Now, that's the box it comes in. I love orange boxes. Okay, if you package in orange, and I'm going to buy it, simple as that. This is the PowerDewise, the lapel microphone, and it's down the carousel at the moment. And I can tell you that the PowerDewise microphone is currently 34% off. It is $39.39. Okay, so 34% off today if you click the link in the carousel. That's the PowerDewise, and on the back of that are some words which say words can change lives, record them perfectly. Okay, I don't know whether you can see that, record them perfectly. And that's what this lapel microphone does. Now, this is its carrying case, and it normally lives in my rucksack. And I'm going to take the microphone out of the case, and here we have the microphone. Now, I don't know about you, but whenever I put wires together, they get tangled. This is the microphone, okay, with the cover on. Okay, so that's the lapel microphone. And there's a crocodile clip attached to the microphone, and basically you clip that onto your clothing, and that's part of it done. That's all you need to do is clip it on your clothing. T-shirt, shirt, outer clothing in winter, just put it on there. The other end of it would, yes, this is where my use of a battery pack is not work. The other end of it, you actually plug in to your mobile phone. It's an ordinary audio lead, just plugs in to the 3.5mm socket in your phone, And as soon as you plug it into your phone, the internal microphone cuts out and is replaced by the microphone that you're actually wearing. Now, the difference it makes is night and day. It's the difference between, I'll bring the microphone back, shall I? It's a difference between, okay, I've got it. This is the difference between an amateur video. If you're producing videos for your own consumption, in other words, it's just for you and family and friends, okay. But if you're going to put the video on YouTube, you need high quality sound. That's what this is, high quality sound. Now you're going to say, how high a quality is it? And that would be a fair question. The first thing is that because the power microphone is on your body, you're absorbing a lot of the sound, okay? Because the first sound that's heard is you, okay? And that's why it works. The first sound that appears on any recording that you do is you. And I am a Udemy course instructor. I teach people how to go live on video. And I've got 15,037 students over on Udemy. But to get on Udemy, I had to prove the caliber of my videos. Now, video, if you're paying $50 for a Udemy course, and Udemy, the largest online place to take courses, you go over to YouTube and type in fishing, then you find a course on fishing. If you type in live video, you might find my course. But they're sticklers for quality. They want high quality. They want high quality video, which I've got with the Brio or the C920x, both would work. But they also want high quality audio. And they said you have two options. If you're going to create a course and put it on Udemy, you can either soundproof your whole studio, or you can use the palm microphone. Guess which one I went for? $39.39 against soundproofing the whole office? Right, okay. So this microphone you could record Udemy courses for. Now, next, third use, mobile Udemy courses or Skillshare courses. Yeah, you can use this microphone for. The third thing is that if you want an external microphone for your PC or Mac, and you don't want to pay dollars, then $39.39 also buys you a microphone you can plug directly into your PC or Mac, and you will have high quality audio when you're on Zoom, when you're on Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, or Twitch. This is the key to good audio on, I'm going to say on a budget, which is fair, because $39.39 for a microphone of this quality. Now, you just listened to my voice on the lapel microphone, and you can hear me above all the, well, let's just go here. Just give me a second. Hopefully this will work. You could hear me. Let's switch that off. You could hear me above the crowd at Stonehenge. Yeah. It was high quality sound, and it all comes from the microphone that is currently down in the carousel. Now, I'm live again tomorrow at 11 a.m. Eastern, which is my normal time. We had an internet outage in the UK today for 2 hours, so that's why I'm running 2 hours late. So I would not normally have met you, but it's been nice to meet you. I do appreciate you spending part of your day with me. I want to say take care, enjoy the rest of your day. I look forward to seeing you again soon. If you enjoyed the broadcast, do consider pressing the following button, the follow button. I don't get your name and address. Amazon have got that. But if you enjoy the broadcast, press the follow button and come back and see me. Okay, this is Stephen, and you have been watching Stephen live from Wiltshire, England. I get that bit right. And I am broadcasting on BeLive. Okay, and you've seen the YouTube video, you've seen images, you've seen captions on screen, you've seen scrolling text, you've seen the whole shebang. Broadcasting out to Amazon Live using BeLive and OneStream. I've enjoyed broadcasting to you today. I want to say thank you, everybody, for watching. See you again soon. Goodbye for now. That's a wrap.